On the road again. Kind of. On a kind of road again. I don't know. What's up with this thing over here? Is it like a structure? Can I get to you? Or are you like off? Oh, there's a path down there. Alright, we'll immediately go off the next side path then. See how many things we can find. Because we have to know. Howdy. Is it a gondola? Elevator lift thing? It's a lift. Long way down, so that takes you down to the other layer. I would be completely unsurprised then if we somehow find a way to turn this on. And that's how I continue. That's messed up looking. There might be a way to repair this, or turn it on or something later. Maybe, and that's how I get access to that zone. So it seems like another chunk of map. Or maybe I go around somehow, and I activate it from down there, and that's how I get back up here, like a shortcut. Kind of all depends on whether or not this game has backtracking in its mechanics or not, or if you just go and store... It might just be that you go down like a scattered hallway. The game might be semi-linear with the main thing just... Like, I can imagine the game being a straight line, basically, but then with a bunch of side... optional side paths that constantly have little things in them, but though there could just be one consistent through line through the whole thing, which so far has been true. We'll see. I won't be certain of the structure until it's over. At which point the information's useless. Haha. That's a cool effect. All the colors are right is, I think, one of the surprises. It reminds me of when PT came out, and people realized that if you color corrected the, if you color corrected PT, it actually would become, like, photorealistic in a creepy, horrifying way. Because with the right colors, the game actually was, like, almost perfectly realistic. Try to find any way to access this building if there is a way. Seems like there's not. Kind of going around in the weeds out here right now. I'll try this little building, then go back up there, I think. We'll avoid the tunnel for now. But you never know which one's going to be the way to go. There is a front door, but I don't think I'm going in there. Thank goodness for a run button. Definitely getting some usage out of that. Alright. Tunnel seems like the way I'm supposed to go ultimately, so let's try this place. Maybe it's another, like, optional puzzle side house thing. Windows are darkened up. I don't think you can see through them at all. So you might not be able to go inside. That's blocked off by a rock. A water pump. Oh, well, you're open. Hello. Let's poke around a little bit more. Another open door here. Busted down side path. I could jump down and end up where I was before. That should just lead straight back to the lift? Yeah. We've seen around there. Ah. And now I've got a back path behind the house. Okay, so back path, tunnel, and then 2 doors in the house. Let's try the side one first. More out of the way. Oh, they connect, it's fine.
You can feel it, right? Something coming from the Vandergriff house.
I can feel it. Ethan disturbed the sleeper. He must be punished.
That made me jump. Pretty bad. The sudden voice.
What did you do? What did you wake up?
Nothing! I found a room, I walked into it, that's it.
This is the same house. This is the meth lab house. that we saw burned up and everything. I think it's the exact same layout. All the way down to props that are in the rooms. Yeah, look at that. So we were going through a portal into this house. Like, you're supposed to look around in this house. And maybe you're supposed to memorize the order the rooms came in and then organize it based on that. But I solved the puzzle based on whether or not the rooms made sense with the geometry of the house. I guess there's two approaches then.
You need to talk to your son. He was poking around in the old Vandergriff house again. Said he found some secret room.
Yeah, really? Okay, I will go talk to him.
This is really weirding me out, how this is clearly the same room, same house that the portals were taking me to. So that house must be totally ruined and unusable, that one I was in before. And the portals were taking me to this house to get them in the right order. And those rooms did not exist in that house. That's bizarre.
Pop, they're getting worse. They keep talking about this thing, this sleeper.
I know. What I don't know is if it's real or not. Travis, leave the boy alone. I see how you've been looking at him.
You don't even know, do you? You have no idea what's going on.
This is a trip. As you poke around.
To help us. It's the only way. It wants Ethan.
You're crazy. You've all gone crazy.
I can't tell if it's triggered for me going into new rooms or just a timer. But we're getting the background. Something about the sleeper. Which sounds like a form of demon. Or old one or something. This place is destroyed.
It's not my fault. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
So did he find the secret room in his own house?
Ethan's family blamed him. Whatever it was he'd accidentally let loose, his family was convinced that hurting him would solve their problems, would soothe their disturbed minds. Whatever haunted the Carters was still here somewhere, in the wind.
So he let something out, possibly by reaching that one room we saw. He let something out. Am I supposed to do something here? Whatever bothered them is in the wind. Is it a hint? Or just saying that it's here in general? In the air? Well, there's no shortage of wind in this game. Back route or tunnel next? Let's try tunnel. We'll just pick directions as we go, right? Oh, let's look around up here, too. Anything off the beaten path?
People come here for many reasons. They want to ask me questions about the future. But I can see the future. So it is the past that interests me. If you want to find my house, you must answer the questions I ask of you. Does sin come from the heart or the mind? Do you feel there is vanity, charity? Is betrayal caused by inequality or injustice? Would you rather be a leaf or a root? Does death bring peace or suffering? Do you admire leaves for their bravery or their
Well, that was a trip. A bunch of strange questions as I teleport through the woods. There's fires here. Endless spores, I would say. Got bones on the trees. Our vision is very distorted. Our FOV is all weird. A beautiful woman sat by a river. A witch approached and told the woman she was to have a child. The woman began to cry with joy, but the joy turned to fear, and she could not stop crying. Fear turned to sadness. The woman continued to cry. She cried for months, hardly sleeping, until the child was born. But the crying had aged the woman, and she was no longer beautiful when she was old enough. Her son climbed the mountain to find the home of the witch. He asked her if she could make his mother beautiful again. The witch asked the boy many questions. After hearing the answers, the witch told the boy she had lied to the mother about her child. The boy disappeared, and the mother was beautiful again. Whoa. Whoa. That's a trip. So the woman... Wow. The idea of saying, I lied about the child, and then you say to the child, who then ceases to exist. That's... Is this the old draft? A beautiful woman sat beside the river. A witch approached and told the woman she was to have a child. The woman began to cry with joy, but the joy turned to fear, and she could not stop crying. Fear turned to sadness. I think that's just the previous draft. They just scratch out the old stuff, and that's why the beginning part doesn't have any errors in it. Is because they started over and rewrote it because they were redoing so much.
Ethan, the point of life is not to rock the boat. Just try to get along. Stop living in your head. Do something real. That's what people respond to. Reality.
How do you know his stories aren't real in their own different way? Ethan, honey, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I want you to keep this note and read it every time I lose my temper. I don't mean it, and know I got a snake's tongue. You're my little guy, my precious bean. You just gotta pull your head out of them clouds, okay? Love, Mom. Stop having an imagination. Stop being different. Just be normal and boring. The bones are gone. The spores certainly aren't. Oh, man. Look at that stuff. Hope you took your antihistamines today. Where am I now, exactly? Good question. Let's just pick a direction and start going. Only one way to find out. One question, of course, is whether this place even has boundaries in the first place. What's up here? I was gonna go up a road, and then I was gonna go up in a tunnel. This is neither of those things. Looks like a graveyard. Is it a graveyard? I don't see names. I just see symbols. But maybe it's a graveyard. This is more what you'd expect. Yeah, wooden graves, huh? That's an entire casket being above ground and open, it looks like. Oh, a bunch of them are. Well, that's terrifying. Great. They've got zombies in these woods. Unless the ground's too hard to bury them. What is that? That's a dead bird. No, it's a stone bird. With blood. Somebody killed somebody, I think, with a bird by stabbing them with it. Or maybe somebody got shot and they fished out the bullet with the bird. It's just a ridiculous leap to go for, but let's just take leaps. Last time was a pretty weird leap. Finding out that the person that seemed to be the victim was not really the victim in that scenario. Okay. I have now found a stone bird. I don't know if it's part of a quest, or part of an investigation, or if I just found a collectible. Oh boy. You could comb over the details of this field for a long time, probably. I'm trying really hard to read that, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's in English letters. Okay, all the open caskets are pretty weird. Maybe it's just a really morbid garden? Churches always make me uncomfortable. Just kind of inevitable, I think. As somebody who's not a churchgoer, I only experience churches in movies, basically. It's almost like and in games, actually. It's almost always a fictional space, as opposed to a real one, because I never go to one. So as a result, in stories, things are always wrong. There's always something wrong in a story that needs to be solved, or something. So by virtue... it's really hazy in here. Just by virtue of that, if only experiencing them through fiction, I only experience them in a situation where negative things happen. Because there's always some sort of plot that has to be resolved. Otherwise, it's not really much of a story. That's a freaky, hazy effect through the glass. Neat. So dark in here. That's, wow, surprisingly convincing to look at. Wow. Neat. Got a lantern. Apparently I'm just gonna take that too. I now own a lantern and a bird. There's no inventory here. Do I even have an inventory to look at, I think? Just pressing all the buttons real quick. So these... You're not getting me anywhere. Nope. I'm gonna go to the front of the room again just to check all the pews. Is anything visibly in the pews? Don't want to miss anything, but don't know what there is to miss yet. We have a stone bird and we have a lantern. Let's look at the big guy. Hey there. Is that Big J? You got no hands. Hier Ruben in Gott, meine liebe Frau Thusnelda Schöneberg. Gebdams 1874 to 1934. So here I think it's like here lies in ground my love Mrs. Thusnelda Schönberg. No, Gott is God, not ground. Ruben. Dad Ruben? Ruben? I'm out of touch with some of this stuff. I try. I haven't taken German for much longer than the time I spent in German. I took it for 3 years in high school and then was a TA in a German class for 1 year as my last year of high school because it didn't fit my schedule. And high school for me was like 9 years ago. Damn. Alright, yeah. So it's been a while since that brief time spent in German. The best I can do is mostly pronounce it. Because that stuff's easier to remember than the meanings of the words. Look at this tower. We're not getting up there. I wonder if the significance of the clock could mean anything. 7:05 it looks like. Maybe 8:05. No, I think 7:05. No, at this angle, could be either one, perhaps. These detailed-ass environments. Look at the staircase. Hey. Burnt matches, oil can. Spilled oil. Round stain. Oil lamp? Ah! We are in an investigation. I just haven't found the thing to investigate yet. Here's the oil lamp. Matches. Oh. Crow carcass. Blood as paint. Ritual. Crow's killed. Could open with a knife. Dagger. Scalpel. I need a weapon. So I need to find a weapon that's being used to cut everything open. So these are real crows? Not a stone one. Okay, I found something now. Let's poke around. Mortar, trowel, pile of bricks. Work. Dropped. Interrupted. Wheelbarrow. So they're probably loading it in there, and they dropped it, but it's hard to tell if it's on purpose or not. Hello, Nightmare Crypt. How you doing? There's handles. Oh. The crow. That's terrifying. Didn't that have blood on it? And now it's... Did they stab together on a person to make blood come out? Because that'd be horrifying. Or do they just knock against each other to make a spark for this, what's probably like an oil trough? 6 days and nights, right? 7 days and nights? 8 days and nights, is that the number? Just thinking of the Hanukkah burning oil thing. Holy crap, that's bright. Oh, there's the murder. Cause of death? Chest wound, no blood, post-mortem. Facial cut, shallow, minimal bleeding. Blood streaks, back wound. Single attacker, multiple attackers. So he wasn't killed by the thing in his chest or on his face. Those are all afterwards or minor. Face could have been when he was alive, but the chest thing is not bleeding, so it's much later. Ah, we got the knife. Hello, bird knife. Nightmare. What's that say? Here lies my beloved wife, Amets Vandergriff. So that's our goal. We want to be able to solve this situation. Let's poke around. There's discarded scraps, cardboard, something. Hi. Anything to say about that, detective man? It's a bird drawn on the wall, I think. By the way, I'm proud of myself for calling that was going to be an oil light when I hit them together. Nailed it. Alright, so first of all, before we forget, dagger belongs here. It was used for the birds. Also then plunged into that guy's chest. That's kind of terrifying how that whole process happened. What's the mixture here? There's bird blood and human blood going on here. Why both? I'm also kind of going through this entire crime scene backwards. I found the two things for the crime scene before I found the crime scene. And I was gonna either go up that back road or the tunnel, and this might not be either of them. It might be the back road. The back road might have led here regardless. Bohemian Star, Ganef Corvi, Wing of the Crow, Crow's Foot, Nero Cross, Broken Cross, Witch's Foot. Sacrifice to Klepoth? Is that another god to think, demon to think about? Klepoth. Alright, so add that to the list. Got a few components here. Let's go down the path and see if I'm missing anything from before the crime scene, because I never went down there. Yeah, there we go. Signs of struggle. Several different footprints. Blood. Human? Crow. Now we have a blood stain. It's kind of an orangey spot, I suppose. I don't really know where we are in relation to anything else right now. We just kind of ended up here. Surprise! We're here now. Let's see. Rube in Frieden. Rube in Frieden? I don't know that word. I don't know burial words really, or religious words. So Rube is new to me. Let's see. I've already gone inside the church. So that's how I left, right? So let's try going the other way around the church. Look for any other weird signs. That's a boundary right there. We can head down the slope. That might be how I get back to the house. Hard to say. Okay, so there's... I won't claim certainty, but there's a decent chance I've found everything. Let's see if the game agrees. What's the wheelbarrow for, I wonder? They're getting bricks. Were they gonna seal it? They were gonna seal the whole chamber shut. And so we have 5 threads to follow. What's going on here? Got a woman. There's a woman with a light. A lantern we saw before. This guy appears to be the murder victim. He's crying. I don't think I know you. You seem kind of sad. Apparently there was another brick there before. He's still crying. But did he know he was going to be sacrificed? Did he know what was going to happen? The woman and man number 2 interacting, planning, perhaps? Maybe this is the moment of this is what's gotta go down. Searching. You're the guy that dies in the tracks later, right? But you're the guy that's over there by that situation over there. What are you looking for? There's a cliff here. Not a whole lot in the woods to look for. We'll try the other side. That's the older guy, right? Yeah, that's not the kid. Weird. So this seems like it has to be the last one? I don't know. You'd almost imagine it being the last one because it shows the actual murder, and he seems okay in the other ones. He's at least not visibly bleeding. Is he? Is that a bleeding spot on his back? There might be a dark spot in the middle of his back. It's hard to tell. That might just be a shadow. Yeah, there's no stab wound on his back in this one. But he's crying. let's start poking around. When I play them back, I'll at least start getting an idea of what these scenes mean. That'll help. So 1. Actually, let's make you 1. You're a different character entirely, so like that's weird in its own way. So 1, 2. 3, 4. And I don't really think I'm right, but at least we'll get a clue as to what some of these scenes mean, because I don't have a lot to go on right now, I don't think.
The hell's going on? Where's Ethan?
The one who sleeps must.
Okay. So we're encountering that kid before he went crazy. He attacked Ethan in the previous memory. Here he's normal. You're clearly gone crazy by the end of this, so that makes me think you should be 5.
Our boy. Chad is putting our boy in that crypt.
And bricking him up. Giving him to the sleeper. Forever.
Chad, let me...
Okay. That didn't work. So he's bricking up your boy, so this is him bricking things up, and you're going to accost him while you might be cool with it or something? And then they argue? It's possible. That's 2, so let's try previous.
Our boy. You know he's harmless. You know this is wrong.
Chad, finish those bricks before he wakes up.
Ah, my leg!
Chad, let me see it.
Get the hell away from me. This is Dale's fault. He should have been helping.
Dale's weak. He always has been.
You're right. He is weak.
Chad, get off of him! He's your brother! Get off of him!
The hell's going on? Where's Ethan?
The one who sleeps must not sleep. Your Uncle Chad is dead. Close. Ethan.
It's not right. Ethan's our boy.
Dad, I need to get into the mine.
What? Mine? My key. I don't have it.
I guess I'll use the tunnel near the gate. Just keep Mom away from me, all right? She's sick. You're all sick.
Well now. These continue to surprise
the
me.
sleeper must not sleep. Ethan disturbed something. Whatever it was, it got out, into the air, and into the minds of his family.
Every time one of these surprises me, apparently. So last time the trick was that who the aggressor and who was the aggressor and who was the defender was reversed, more or less. This time, the surprise is the order of events being a surprise. Those two outside was because apparently Ethan was in here and Ethan actually attacks them, and that's why the guy's recoiling. I thought that maybe they went after him for some reason, but it was actually Ethan just popping up out of nowhere to surprise us.